Timothy Piazza, a Penn State University student, died in February after falling down a flight of stairs at a fraternity party. New charges were filed Monday against 17 members of the fraternity that hosted the party after prosecutors recovered intentionally deleted video that shows Timothy was given 18 drinks by frat brothers in less than 90 minutes, prompting his blood alcohol content, his level, to reach nearly 5 times the legal limit. Timothy's death is one of at least 4 deaths linked to frat parties just this year, the most recent just this month. Matthew Ellis, a Texas State University student, died after attending a fraternity party off campus. And just yesterday, Ohio State University announced the suspension of activities in almost all of its fraternities because of ongoing investigations into drinking and hazing. Jim and Evelyn Piazza say hazing has to stop. They are here, along with their attorney, Tom Klein, to tell us more. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You just lost Timothy 9 months ago, and so I know it's not easy for you to be here talking about this. But I have to ask you first about the news this week that the FBI recovered intentionally deleted videotape of a critical portion of that evening where he was given 19 drinks in 90 minutes, and what you think that tells us about these fraternity members.
I think it tells you about the mindset of this group of fraternity members. For 8 days, we listened to defense attorneys talk about their clients not being there. My client didn't do this. My client didn't do that. These videotapes in the basement show everything that happened, shows they were there, show they did all these things, and they knew it. They knew it. I'm convinced that they knew what went on, but they were hiding it from the court, thinking the tapes weren't going to be recovered.
You know, Evelyn, what do you say to people who say kids go to college, no one forces them to drink, they make stupid decisions all the time, you know, and the assignment of blame, their defenders say, is inappropriate?
They don't understand the concept of hazing. I mean, there's a whole psychology to it, that they're not, even if they consent, it's still not consent. They're being forced to do it because otherwise they're not getting in.
Mm-hmm. One of the most disturbing things about Timothy's case is the way he was treated after he was hurt, when he was clearly down and in need of help. I know, Jim, you said you felt like he was treated like roadkill.
Yeah.
And the tapes that we've seen that have been shared with us thus far show that.
Yeah.
I mean, is that where you believe criminal charges are appropriate?
Well, the criminal charges stem from all the things that led up to that. It's the hazing, it's the furnishing of the alcohol, it's the abuse that happened. I mean, at the end of the day, this is all abuse. Change the word hazing to abuse and people take a different look at it. The fact that they treated him like roadkill, the fact that they treated him so poorly and didn't help them, I think that just goes to show you the character of the individuals that were there. But
have you had any contact with the other parents?
A couple of parents sent us letters saying, you know, we're sorry for your loss. My son wasn't there. In a couple of cases, their son was right in the middle of it. So, you know, it's nice to get the letters, but, you know, is there really sincere remorse? I don't think so.
What do you want other parents to know, Evelyn?
Talk to your kids. Have this conversation. Don't do anything you don't feel comfortable with. If you're going to pledge or join any of these organizations, have a buddy system. Do it with a group. Do it with a friend. Make a pact. And if something doesn't feel right or if it's going bad, then just leave.
Tom, what are the odds these guys are actually going to be convicted on manslaughter charges?
I think the odds are very good. In order to prove either reckless endangerment or involuntary manslaughter, the legal standard is recklessness. This is not a crime of intent. This is a crime of recklessness. And I think that at the end of the day, that will happen for sure. We're going to see either convictions or pleas, I predict, as to hazing.
You don't think the new DA is going to drop these charges?
Oh, I would be very surprised, and they will hear from the Piazzas if that happens.
Sure.
I know this is going to be your first holiday without him. Thinking of you guys, sending you so much love and support as you go into this period. Thank you for being so outspoken.
Thank you.
Trying to help others.
Yeah.
I want to tell our viewers that NBC News reached out to Penn State officials for comment. The school said of the Piazzas in a written statement that the university, quote, will not forget their loss as we continue our efforts to hold individuals accountable and prevent any reoccurrence. Penn State maintains that, quote, the university took the strongest action possible against the former Beta Theta Pi fraternity by permanently revoking its recognition. Goes on to say the breadth of the university's investigation makes clear our commitment to hold all students who jeopardize the safety of another student accountable.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.